It was a machine that inspired such terror that the mere sight of it could make entire battalions retreat without a fight. Allied soldiers learned to distinguish the sound of its engine among hundreds of others. Commanders issued orders to avoid any sighted tigers. German propaganda had turned it into a symbol of invincibility, and a single one of these tanks could indeed halt the advance of an entire division. But of the 1,355 Tigers built by Germany during the war, most did not die from enemy shells. They suffocated on roads with empty fuel tanks. They bogged down in mud under their own colossal weight. They broke down in the middle of a march when their transmission finally gave out and there was no time for repair. Their crews would douse them in gasoline and set them ablaze to keep them from falling into enemy hands. This is a story about the choice between genius and common sense, about a machine that could win every battle but lose every march, about how engineering perfection became a logistical suicide.
June 22, 1941. At dawn, as 3 million Wehrmacht soldiers crossed the Soviet border, German tank crews rode to war with a sense of absolute superiority. Behind them lay a Poland crushed in 27 days and a France that capitulated in 6 weeks. The Panzer III and IV had proven their worth. Blitzkrieg worked flawlessly. The first days of Operation Barbarossa confirmed this confidence. German armored spearheads sliced through Soviet defenses, encircling whole armies, capturing hundreds of kilometers of territory. It seemed the war would be over in a month. But in July, on the country roads of Ukraine and in the swamps near Leningrad, German tankers began to encounter something new. Soviet T-34s emerged from forests, advancing under fire without slowing down. German shells simply bounced off their sloped armor. The return fire from their 76mm guns punched straight through German plating, turning crews to ash.
The heavy KV-1s were even more terrifying. 45-ton monsters, armored so well that German shells left not even dents. In late June, one such tank blocked the advance of an entire German division in the Baltics for over a day. As designer Erwin Aders of Henschel later said, when it became clear that Soviet tanks surpassed everything available to the German army, it caused a real commotion. The High Command, however, had understood the scale of the problem even before the invasion. On May 26, 1941, 3 weeks before Barbarossa, Henschel and Porsche received an urgent order to develop a fundamentally new heavy tank. The requirements were brutal: armor capable of withstanding any known anti-tank shell, a gun able to pierce any enemy armor at maximum range, weight up to 45 tons, prototype ready by April next year.
2 design bureaus arrived at opposite solutions. Erwin Aders at Henschel took the proven Panzer IV blueprint, reinforced the armor to the limit, installed a powerful Maybach engine and a traditional mechanical transmission. Conservative but achievable. Ferdinand Porsche chose revolution. His prototype had a hybrid power plant. 2 gasoline engines powered generators, which drove electric motors in each track. No gearboxes, no complex drive shafts. But it required vast amounts of copper, a strategic deficit in wartime Germany. April 20th, 1942, Hitler's 53rd birthday. Both prototypes were unloaded from railway flats near his headquarters. They had 11 kilometers of paved road to cover to reach the demonstration site.
Both broke down repeatedly on that stretch. The Porsche Tiger overheated twice. The Henschel tank seized its transmission. By the time they limped to the Wolf's Lair, Hitler had been waiting for hours. Porsche, who knew the Führer personally, gave a long presentation on the advantages of electric drive. The Henschel machine got only a few minutes. The outcome seemed decided.
But field trials revealed reality. The Porsche devoured precious copper. Its electrical system overheated. Its maneuverability was inferior. Maintaining it required specialized electricians, not ordinary mechanics. In June, the commission ruled in favor of Henschel. Porsche, confident of victory due to his friendship with Hitler, had already built 100 hulls. They were converted into tank destroyers, named Ferdinand in his honor.
The irony? It was Porsche who suggested the name for the winning tank, Tiger. The name stuck. The designer lost. The first production Tigers rolled off Henschel lines in August 1942. 57 tons, frontal armor as thick as a man's hand, sides that could withstand a direct hit from any Allied anti-tank gun of the time. And its main weapon? An adapted 88mm anti-aircraft gun, a weapon Allied infantry had already learned to fear. It could pierce the armor of a Soviet T-34 from over a kilometer away. British Churchills and American Shermans stood no chance, even at 1,500 meters. The Tiger could kill enemy tanks long before they could get within effective firing range.
Its baptism of fire came in Tunisia, December 1942. 3 Tigers were thrown into battle near Jeddah. In close quarters fighting in an olive grove, a leading Tiger was hit simultaneously by 8 75mm shells from British tanks. The crew braced for penetration and fire. The armor held. All 8 shells ricocheted or left mere dents. The German gunner calmly traversed his turret and methodically destroyed the British tanks, one after another. On that day, German tankers realized they were nearly invulnerable. The enemy couldn't pierce their armor, while they could kill with a single shot. But stronger than the technical superiority was the psychological effect. Allied soldiers began calling any dangerous-looking German tank a Tiger. Legends spread faster than the machines themselves. By the spring of 1943, a single Tiger could halt a brigade's advance not by fire, but by its mere rumored presence.
But the legend had a crack, a fatal flaw. The Tiger was not ready for war. Its transmission failed under stress. Its engine choked on long marches. Its tracks broke and jammed. Engineers begged for time to fix these teething problems. General Guderian argued fiercely against its premature deployment. But Hitler couldn't wait. In September 1942, near Leningrad, 4 Tigers advanced toward the front line through swampy terrain. 3 broke down before reaching position. The 4th reached its spot, tried to turn on soft ground, and sank hopelessly into the mire. The crew abandoned it, unable to properly destroy it.
Soviet zappers recovered it days later, a nearly intact Tiger with its documentation and equipment. The secret of Germany's newest superweapon was compromised half a year before it could show its full power. The price for this perfection was monstrous: 250,000 Reichsmarks per Tiger. For that, Germany could build 3 medium Panzer IVs or 4 proven assault guns. German industry couldn't stamp out tanks by the thousands. Each Tiger required months of work by skilled specialists and scarce materials. The choice was made: quality over quantity, technological supremacy over mass production, perfection over reasonable sufficiency.
By the summer of 1943, the Tiger had learned to win. At Kursk, 150 Tigers took part. In one engagement, 15 Tigers destroyed over 100 Soviet tanks without loss. The T-34s were powerless against their frontal armor. But the real war was different. It was a war of logistics, of supply, of production. The Tiger was voracious. A 60-kilometer march through mud could empty its fuel tanks. For every hour of combat, it required 10 hours of maintenance. When it broke down, recovering it was a Herculean task. More often, the crew received the order to destroy and abandon it. Most Tigers did not die in battle. They were strangled on the roads.
Germany built just over 1,300 Tigers. The Soviet Union produced over 50,000 T-34s. The mathematics of war were simple and brutal. Allies found their answers. The British upgunned the Sherman Firefly. The Soviets built the heavy IS-2. The Americans developed tactics. No duels, but encirclement. 5 tanks against 1, attacking the flanks, sacrificing 2 to kill 1. Mathematics defeated perfection. Today, 9 Tigers remain. One stands in the Bovington Tank Museum in England, the only one in the world still able to move under its own power. Every year, thousands come to hear the roar of its engine, to feel the ground shake under its tracks, to see the machine that once inspired terror in whole armies.
The legend has outlived the reality, and that perhaps is its only true victory. In the end, this is not a story about a tank. It is a story about a choice between genius and reason, how the pursuit of perfection turns triumph into a curse. German engineers created a machine capable of winning any one-on-one duel, but they created it for a war that did not exist, a war of nightly single combat where the best man wins. The real war was a war of numbers, of the ability to build 100 tanks instead of 10, to fuel them, repair them, lose half, and get new ones the next day. The Tiger won battles, but it helped lose the war.
It became the perfect metaphor for the Third Reich itself. Technologically brilliant, inspiring terror, utterly convinced of its own superiority, and doomed to suffocate under the weight of its own ambition.